we're back at another pad split property today with our good friend Christian. This is not one that he bought from HouseAble, but it is one of the ones that he's bought on his own, I believe, creatively.
No,
this is conventional.
Okay.
Okay.
4 conventional.
So he did go the conventional route a couple of different times with, you know, DSCR type products. But this house is super cool. I don't know how many bedrooms it is, but I do know that there is a special ADU in the backyard that you're not going to want to miss. So stay tuned for the full video to watch how Christian optimized the usage of this property to provide a safe, affordable place for someone to live in a private environment that's pretty freaking epic, if I should say so myself. So how many beds, how many baths in this property? Tell us a little bit of a backstory here. Give us some context.
Yeah, so we don't like to oversaturate. This one's actually just a 3-2. That is it, but super close to Ybor City. So 7th Ave is about literally 7 minutes away and centrally located to everything. So we could put another bedroom in here, but a lot of times we just like to provide a really, really good product, and then you end up getting more for it, you know?
Yeah, and I saw the inside when I walked in before. He's got some pretty high-end finishes. So given the location, the finishes, you know, the lack of too many people on the property, I would presume your room rates are pretty decent.
Yep, very, very so. And it feels easier too, right? The less people have to share a bathroom with other people, the better. So speed to lead as far as like member turnover, if you have something that's like 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, that's where your bread and butter is going to be.
Yeah, the money is made. I mean, like, people are building new build properties where they're literally framing out 1-to-1 bed bath ratios. So it's basically like your own studio apartment. You have your own private bathroom, your own private bedroom, put the two together. The goal there is to increase tenancy for a longer period of time so that people can save their money, save their money, save their money, eventually with HouseAble become a homeowner. So without further ado, let's go inside, check out the property, see what it looks like, some of the finishes Christian has employed in it, what these rooms might look like. I think it's fully occupied, correct? Yeah. So it's fully occupied, but we will check out what it looks like inside. Stay tuned for the whole video to see the awesome ADU he has in his backyard. You're not going to want to miss this part. All right, so we're in the living room here. Like you said, you didn't do any modifications to this house at all. You basically just refinished it. Did you refinance it?
Conventional, lived in it, 3.5% down, right? So any way to get into the deal, just get into the deal, right? So once I was tapped out of this, that's when I started going with Dom. So this was my second one ever. Lived in this for a really long time. Great memories here. Great memories here with my family. So really great area. And if you saw, they're building a $36 million recreational center. Literally, you could throw a rock at it. So it's gonna be not a YMCA, but very, very similar to it.
Okay, so that's really cool. So not only is that's probably an employment opportunity, that's good for, you know, activities, you know, get out of the house and do things. You're in Ybor City, you're close to everything. It's another densely packed, populated area. And these are the types of the areas that we're talking about where rent might be pretty high for a 1-bed, a 2-bed, whatever. You get a property like this, you get to live in this densely populated area, close the gap on that pricing, and price yourself into being able to afford something in an area like this. So, I mean, if we take a look around, the property itself is gorgeous. I mean, you did a really great job. All right, so we're in the back of the property now where we kind of alluded to a little bit earlier about the ADU that Christian put onto this property. As you can see, this is a container home. And so I'll kind of let Christian explain the backstory behind how he was able to do this, what kind of revenue it brings in, you know, give us all the specifics because it's got a foundation, it's got plumbing, it's a studio apartment, it's a great product. It's got a glass sliding door. Are those hurricane doors?
Yeah, we make sure everything's actually rooted and bolted down in the back as well. Got to make it hurricane safe, right? So that's really, really important. If you're going to do these things, make sure you do them the right way. Tell people what you're doing. We got that for free. A friend told another friend that we dabble in real estate, and then someone gave it to us for free. Now, it was very expensive bringing it up here and getting everything prepped and, you know, gutting the inside and all that. But the shell itself, which it already was a tiny home before, so there wasn't too much that we had to do with it.
Yeah.
And Really great product. We really pride ourselves on what we put out. So those finishes that you saw in there, that's the other ADUs, all the newer stuff, that's what we tried doing, right? This same thing, super nice. And again, I've lived in all these houses. I lived here, right? I lived here, I worked here, I slept here, I had fun with my family here. So again, patience, right? This was my second one. But now year 6, now I'm at 7, right? And so it compounds, just keep at it, one after another. And before you got a nice portfolio.
I would presume this property back here, this ADU, is your moneymaker, because the inside of the property, that's the stabilizer, that's your coverage, that covers all your expenses. I would presume that the tenure in this back ADU is probably pretty high, and that most of your income is derived from this actual ADU structure in the back here.
That's 100% right. So we have a very simple model. When you have something that works, rinse and repeat. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, right? So for us, we found that, okay, if we don't oversaturate, it's super easy to turn members over when it happens. But a lot of times it doesn't, because they're not trying to run away, because we have a nice product, like those finishes inside. And again, they have a 1-1 in there, completely private. So they're only sharing 2-to-1 on the other one.
Right.
And then if the house can break even, or a little bit of cash flow, right? And that's PITI, all utilities. So you gotta, factor in a few CapEx, electricity, water, internet, lawn care, which it looks like we got to do again. Then after all that, whatever the container brings in, pure profit. And that's what you want to try to do, pure profit.
Makes sense. Tell the audience, because I'm sure that they're probably curious, what's your weekly rate here on average for the regular house per room, and then your back house, and give us the total financial picture on what this house does for you as an investor in PadSplit and this strategy specifically.
So I don't know the exact numbers per room off of my head. Each room is completely different. So I think one is 200 a week, one might be 275 a week, and I think one is same thing, about 275. I think this goes for like 300 a week. But I know for us, our math, we want to profit $1,000 per property after everything. So that's our business model. We won't touch it if it won't fit our buy box and our business model.
Gotcha.
So every single deal, even the one I bought off you recently, I know when I move out, which that day will come, I can rinse and repeat that same business model and get the numbers I'm looking for. It makes the math super simple, right?
Right. So what was your name again, bro?
Garland.
Garland.
Yeah.
All right, Dom, it's good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, man.
So tell us a little bit, you were in the process of kind of breaking down why PadSplit made sense for you. Yeah. Take us a little bit back, because you started going through your story, and I want the audience to kind of hear a little bit about this too. But take us through your PadSplit journey from start to where you are now, and kind of how it's been able to help you out so far in your
cool.
life.
Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you, asking me. My name's Garland. I've been with PadSplit for about 14 months, I want to say. It's been about 14, 15 months now. Great experience. I've lived in 2 houses so far. The first house was a 6-bedroom home, and it was all available to me. It's a brand new house. The system itself was great, though.
Yeah.
Any issues that we've had, we've had answers very quickly. Christian has no problem, pulling up on us with anything we need.
Yeah.
Cleaning supplies, anything like that.
Yeah.
He's been a great owner, so it's been a great experience,
I could tell. We came here, he walked out of the property, they hugged each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that experience with a landlord before?
No, I haven't. I lived with my parents and had my own apartments before, but I've never had those type of interpersonal relationships with my landlord. You get the freedom to really be who you want.
I talk a lot about this on the channel, but from your perspective, I'm curious, the affordability aspect of it.
Yeah.
Tampa itself it's not a cheap place to live.
No, not at all.
It's not a cheap place to live. Average apartment rent's about $1,600 a month.
Yeah.
Plus utilities.
Yeah.
Plus all sorts of other stuff. If they charge, Wi-Fi, whatever.
Yeah, because even looking for a 2-bedroom out here, guys, it's like $1,650, $1,700, and that's without the base necessities.
Yeah, that's without electric.
It can get a little strenuous for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Using the PadSplit system, though, you can pay weekly or monthly, so you have those options. I've been paying weekly for about 6-7 months now, and it's been no issue.
Yeah.
Any issues I have had, I've been able to message the team, message Christian or anybody on the team, and we had an instant response.
Yeah, and you've been here for how long?
I've been at this specific location about 4.5 months now.
Gotcha. And do you work locally? Like, what is
Yep.
you have a car or you walk?
Yeah, our vehicle's right here. I work right up at Sandwell right now. Right now, I really just, I've transitioned to full-time content creation, kind of nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
but you know,
for you,
it's
man.
something that I have transitioned to, and the freedom is what I'm looking for. Just that freedom to be able to travel, do what we want, you know, and be able to network with new people.
I love that. A lot of the questions I get as an owner is, you know, who wants to live in a single bedroom?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like? I never experienced that before. So you shedding light on that super helpful.
I tell you this, right? It's like you still have your own place, right?
Yeah.
Though you don't have anybody on site constantly over your shoulder monitoring you and things like that, you know? But you still have to be wary. You still have to keep the place clean. You still have to do a lot of the day-to-day things that you would normally do.
Yeah.
So you just operate like you own the place, man. You operate like it's your home.
Yeah.
You know, if you have those cleanliness standards and everything, just keep them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's all I do.
Ground rules.
That's it.
Ground rules and expectations. You walk in the house, here's the rules, you abide by them, or you don't. If you don't, you're gone. That's the whole culture aspect of it. It's community living. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And if the community has a strong culture, people are going to generally enjoy living in that community.
Exactly.
So it seems so far that's been the case for you.
Yeah, it's been great. Like I said, I've lived at 2 houses so far. The first house I was really by myself.
Yeah.
It was a 6-bedroom house. They just put it up like 4 days before I found it. So nobody else was there.
Yeah.
So going from that house to being in a home that's populated with more people, it's a little bit different, you know?
Yeah.
The culture is different, but there's still no issues, man.
Yeah.
You know, my partner, I brought her up from Fort Lauderdale. She knew nothing about the PadSplit system. She really put all her faith in me, you know? She put all her trust and faith in me, and she's been safe ever since.
That's amazing, brother.
It's been a great experience. We have our 5-month-old on the way.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been a good experience.
So you've been able to close the gap, so to speak,
Yeah,
on your
100%.
ability to afford a specific property
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I'm assuming you've been able to maybe save some money, build some
Oh,
credit.
absolutely.
I have some experiences with my own tenants who do the exact same thing. They
Yeah.
stack their money, they live in a property for a year, they build a credit, and they move on to a house. Is that something that
Yeah,
you guys
that's the plan. That's the plan. That's why I brought her up here, you know, because there was like 300, 400 miles in between us.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Oldsmar before I moved over to Tampa.
Yeah.
So I was over by Clearwater and everything.
Yeah.
Man, that was a distance, you know. The first year of our relationship was really hard.
Yeah.
You know, and then I found the PadSplit system. You know, we talked and she put her trust in me, and you know, now we're here building our family. So
You got a kid in the way.
Yeah.
So our company is called HouseAble. And Christian, we've done a couple of deals together thus far. So our whole goal, our whole mission, you guys know, is making home ownership possible for middle America when big banks say no. So Christian's helped me launch a program called our Path to Home Ownership program. So people who live in a pad split for however long, they can work with us at HouseAble alongside Christian and help you get on the path towards home ownership.
Yeah.
So whether that looks like, hey, we're saving some money and then we're gonna lease to own a property and then eventually move into a situation where you could own your own property, that's the goal of the company.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that we're looking to do as a company.
Yeah.
I hope maybe that's something that you can help us do.
That definitely aligns with our goals.
Yeah.
Because just like you, right? Eventually we want our own stable home.
Yeah.
You know, we want that backyard, the full, you know, lawn, everything, you know, that's what you're looking for when you go in that family.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd love that opportunity for sure.
Yeah, and I was talking about with Christian before, we believe in invested citizens. And what invested citizens mean is you own a piece of the land that you live in.
Yeah.
And if you have a family and kids and you own that property, the pride of ownership steps in, it kicks in, the pride of ownership for the entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you have a safe environment, friendly people, growing population of people who relate to each other.
Yeah.
You have things in common. You have a community that's growing, cohesive.
Yeah.
Kind of like what
like
PadSplit is in the microcosm of a home
Yeah.
is what home ownership is going to be later on. And
No,
so
100%.
we're putting those pieces together. We're hopeful to close the gap on home ownership for people like you who deserve home ownership.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Like I said, the PadSplit system as a whole definitely it saved me from being on the street.
Yeah.
I found it like days before my parents found a new place.
Yeah.
You know, they were downsizing. It was really an emergency. Outside of that, I mean, it's a blessing. It's been a blessing for me.
No, I appreciate your time, man. And again, it's really good to meet you.
Thank you.
Today.
Appreciate to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely,
Great to
man.
meet you, man.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions, or drop it in the comments below. If you want to learn more about this strategy or what we do at HouseAble, subscribe for more, look at our previous videos, comment below if this is a program that you might be interested in, if PadSplit, Path to Ownership, any of these things fits what you're looking for, subscribe to the channel, comment below. See you on the next video.
See you guys. Hell yeah.